Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol ALQA. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like you this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then just makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. I don't mean to state the obvious, but I will anyways. Crazy movement today, not only from a price action perspective, but you look down here at the volume. By far the biggest volume this chart has had for a while. We had a member in our chat room alerted early on in the day. I traded it terribly, made I think $150 on it or something like that. But that just kind of shows how crazy the move was when somebody can trade something really poorly, but yet still pull $150 from it, which was my case. But regardless, I'll map out some levels that I'll be watching tomorrow. But all in all, this thing's really looking like a pump and dump. Now, I could be wrong, and when I say pump and dump, I'm not saying that towards the company. I don't know anything about the company. I'm saying that to how the price is acted, hence price action. So from a price action perspective, it's really looking like a pump and dump. But I'm not going to call it a full-blown pump and dump because technically speaking, the price could still build a higher base compared to where it was. And that's where this kind of key area of support that I'm curious about tomorrow down here at $2.25 comes into play. Because let's kind of just, I'm not saying this will happen, but let's say the price comes down here to $2.25 and it gets down there and then just continues on down. At that point in time, what would you have? You would literally have the price right back inside of that range, which is where it started. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements with true power are not going to go back to where they were. They're going to show at least some sort of sign of progress. Whereas on the flip side, let's say the price comes down here and then starts to go sideways and then eventually works its way back upwards. Now, I get it. There's a lot of perspective that goes into this, meaning if you're some sort of day trader and you bought up there or you bought right there, then yeah, you couldn't care less. So these comments I'm making currently are definitely geared towards more so just the overall grand picture of it all. And in that situation, well then yeah, technically speaking, you'd have a set of lows here. You'd have these lows down there. If you picture each of those as stair steps, then yeah, you would have stair steps still progressing in the upwards direction. So from a trading perspective, which is what I'm looking at this as a trader, 225 is definitely very important. But if you're some sort of investor or long-term trader or whatever, then yeah, keep a very close eye on 225 because like I said, think about what that implies if the price breaks down through 225 and then continues to sink to the downside. That's literally putting the price right back to where it started, which would essentially put the nail in the coffin in calling this a full-blown pump and dump. So maybe pump and dump on thin ice is the better way to go about this. That thin ice point, again, being down at 225. So let's see if the price can stay above it or not. One of the biggest questions I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.